Okay, we are discussing transformations. So in transformations, we have four types. We have reflection, rotation, translation, and enlargement. We are done with reflection and rotation. Today we'll talk about translation and enlargement. So I just want you to focus on these two types today. Forget about the types we studied yesterday. Just forget about those. Just focus on today's session. And let's see if we are able to complete it today or not. Okay. Right. So we are on the third type of translation, that is, or transformation, that is translation. Okay. You can think about translation as dragging an object as well. Okay. Now I'll give you a quick idea. In translation, we are going to describe it using a vector or matrix. Okay, now please pay attention. We are on transformations. In transformations, we have two things. One is our object. We transform that object by applying one of the four types and we get a mirror image. Okay, now the image could be a mirror image. It would be a mirror image in case of reflection. It could be a rotated image in case of rotation. It could be an enlarged image in case of enlargement. And it could be that we have dragged our object from a point to another. That would be translation. Okay, just pay attention. Translation vector is of this type: t equals x, y. Okay, now this is for the x coordinates, this is for the y coordinates. I'll obviously explain you the link of this with translation. Just pay attention. Okay, now if the x coordinate is positive, we move the object to the right, and if it is negative, we move the image to the left. If y coordinate is positive, we move the object up, and if it is negative, we move it down. You'll understand that by an example. Let me write down an example and then I'll explain this to you. So just stay focused. So triangle A maps onto triangle B after a translation -3, 2. This is the vector, full stop, on the diagram. Draw and label triangle B. Okay, this is question number 1. Please pay attention. Okay, if you were not able to understand anything, you would be able to just relax and stay focused. Okay, I'm going to make the axis. This is the y-axis and this one is the x-axis. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so I have labeled the x-axis and the y-axis. Okay, the first, I'll make the triangle A first. It's this one. Then it is 6, 2, and then it's 6, 4. Okay. I'm just writing down the question, okay? I'm just writing down the question. Okay. Now I want your attention, all of you. Please listen to this carefully. We are talking about translation, and the only thing in translation is translation vector. If I give you a quick reference, in case of reflection, we used to talk about the equation of the line of reflection. In case of rotation, we had three things: the center, the angle, and the direction. And in case of translation, we only have one translation vector or matrix. Okay. Now, this is the first example. Let's see if you are able to understand it using the question or not. Okay, it says triangle A maps onto triangle B after a translation of -3, 2. On the diagram, draw and label triangle B. Okay. Now, this is question. Everything that is written in front of you is your question. So everything under the black line is the question. I'll make the triangle be using green color. Okay. First, let's just write down the points, okay? All the coordinates of the triangle A. So the first one is 3, 2. The second, can anyone help me in writing down this coordinate, please? Saneem, Rania, Yusra, anyone?
6, 2.
Very good. And then the last coordinate, okay, I have a message. Okay, very good, Rania. And what about this one? Can anyone tell me?
6, 4.
Very good. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Now we have all the coordinates. We need to write down, we need to make the translated image, triangle B, and we need to follow this. Okay. So how do we do it? The method is very simple. If X has a negative sign, the point or the coordinate would move left. So it is 3, 2, and it is -3 and 2. So every point would move 3 units left and 2 units up. This is the idea about it, okay? 3 units left and 2 units up. So let's talk about this point. I'll move it 3 units left, 1, 2, and 3, and then 2 units up, 1 and 2. So this is the first coordinate. Very good, 0, 4. Excellent, Rania. And what about the second one? So I am going to move it 3 units, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 and 2. So it would come here, and this would again be moved 3 units, 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 and 2. So let me just do the 2 units above thing properly, 1 and 2. So it would be here. Now I'm going to rub these just so it's neat and it's understandable. Okay, so I'll make it quickly. This is the old triangle. It is triangle A. I am making triangle B. So this is A. B would be made using red color. Okay, I'll just connect these points. 1, 2, and 3. Obviously, this can happen in my case because I am not using a proper grid, but in your case, this would not happen, okay? So this is the idea. This is triangle B, okay? I'll repeat. We are talking about the third type of the translation. This was the object. This is the image. It looks like we have dragged triangle A and we have placed it here, okay? This is going to be your hint for understanding that if it's translation or not. It could be that the examiner gives you a diagram where he or she, like, they give you two triangles and you need to see if that is a rotation, if that is an enlargement, if that is reflection, or if that is translation. Okay, we'll come to that later, obviously, But for now, just know, for translation, we only have this one vector. We'll see the x coordinate, we'll see the y coordinate. If the sign is positive in case of x, it would move those many units towards the right side. If it is negative, it would move towards the left side. If y is positive, it would move up. If y is negative, it would move down. Yes. Any confusion, Saneem, Yusra, and Rania in the very first example? Okay. Saneem, did you understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Yusra, are you okay with this? Okay. Very good. All right. Now, let's talk about a proper formula that we can use here. So I'll just write down the formula. And that is, object is triangle A in this case, plus translation vector equals image. Okay, this is what you need to understand. So every time when you have been told that it is a translation, you would be having an object. You can see the coordinates, okay? 3, 2, 6, 2, 6, 4. You need to add the translation vector. So when I will add the translation vector in 3, 2, what am I going to get? I would get 0 and 4. And you can see that this coordinate is 0 and 4. When I'll add the translation vector in 6, 2, what am I going to get? I would get 2 and 4. And this point is, sorry, it is going to be 3 and 4. Yeah, my bad. This is 3 and 4. 3 and 4. And certainly this point is 3 and 4. And for this one, you will again add the translation vector and you would get 3 and 6. Okay. So this is 3 and the other one is 6. So that is the idea about translation, right? So we are done with translation. Translation is one of the most easiest, and you would be able to do that easily. Okay, you can follow this. Okay, right. So by now we are done with the first three types. The first one is reflection. In case of reflection, you get a mirror image. In case of rotation, the object is rotated either in the clockwise direction or in the anti-clockwise direction, and the angles were 90 degrees or 180. And I just shared the method with you, what to do with the coordinates to get the image. And in case of translation, the red square is basically your go-to thing. You would have the coordinates of the object, you need to add the translation vector, and that would give you the image. So this is going to help you in every question of translation, right? So yeah, that is the idea about translation. So we are done with translation. Let's talk about the last type of transformation, that is enlargement. So I will clear this, assuming that it's clear because I asked you already. Okay, the last type is enlargement. So either the image would get bigger or it would get smaller, right? That depends on the scale factor. Okay. Now, in case of enlargement, we have two things which we need to understand. The first thing is the center of enlargement, and the second one is the scale factor. That is K. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me, not the new students, but the old ones? We discussed something about the center in one of the previous types as well. So which type was that?
Rotation.
Very good. Well done. Okay. So you will see that things are similar here, right? We used to have two cases in case of rotation. When the center used to be 0, 0, we had certain steps, and then when the center used to be any other than 0, 0, we had certain steps. You'll see, you would get to see similar things. Okay, don't worry, the new ones, that's okay. I'll explain it again. So yeah, that is the idea. Now, let's focus on how to find the center of enlargement. Okay, so this is the first thing. Okay, center of enlargement is the first thing. We are going to focus on this now. All right, let me make a diagram quickly. So let's say you have two triangles. This is the first one. And then this is the enlarged triangle. Okay. This is the y-axis. This is the x-axis. Okay, now this is A, B, and C. And this is the image. So it is A dash, B dash, and C dash. What exactly is the thing under discussion? I repeat, this is the fourth type. The fourth type of transformation is enlargement. If you were not able to understand any of the previous transformations, please think about it as a new thing and start focusing. Okay. The two important things in case of enlargement are center of enlargement and the scale factor. Okay. The first thing is center of enlargement, and this is what we are discussing at the moment. So I am going to rub the other thing, and this is the thing under discussion, that is center of enlargement. Okay, how do we do it? I'll tell you now. Okay, just pick up 2 points. Okay, so let's pick up C and C dash. Obviously, you need to pick up corresponding points and just make a line connecting these two. So I am going to make a line that connects these points and I'm going to extend it. Okay. So this is the, yeah, that is enough, I guess. Okay. And then the other line could be using any of the points. Let's say we pick up A and A dash. Okay. So I'll make the above line again. That's so it's a longer one this time. Okay. It is going to be something of this type. Okay. And then for A and A dash, the line would be something of this type. All right. Yeah. Okay. So these are the two lines. Okay. These are the two lines. This is going to be the center of enlargement. Okay. I'll repeat. Let's say you have the object and you have the image, you have the enlarged image, and you are interested in finding out the center of enlargement. Obviously, in some questions where they give you the object and where they want you to construct the image, in that case, the examiner would give you the center. But there could be questions where the examiner just gives you the object and the mirror image and the image, and you have to compute the center of enlargement. Okay, so I'll repeat this again. How do we find the center of enlargement? Just pick up two pairs of corresponding points. So let's say this time around, I am picking up C and C dash, that is the first pair. And then the second one is B and B dash. So let me try making the connecting them. Okay, so this is the first line. I need to extend it as much as I can. And then the second one is going to be a line that is passing through C and C dash. Yeah, it should be something of this type. Yes. And again, the center is this one. Okay. So this is your center of enlargement. It is going to be same whatever pair of points you're picking up, obviously in my case, it could be that I'm getting two different centers just because I'm not using proper grids and stuff like that, okay? But the idea should be clear. Any doubts about finding the center? Turhan, you have just joined. I'll give you a quick idea. We were doing transformations. This is the fourth type. We have started enlargement just now. In case of enlargement, either your image would be bigger or it would be smaller. That depends. We'll come to that later. In case of enlargement, we have two things. The first one is the center of enlargement, and then the second one is the scale factor, okay? I did not discuss scale factor. I'm only discussing center of enlargement. So we were basically discussing how to find the center of enlargement, okay? So this is your object and this is your image. For finding out the center of enlargement, you need to make two lines. For these two lines, you need to have two pair of points for each line. So for the first one, I picked up C and C dash. For the second one, I chose B and B dash, okay? So I made line 1 and line 2, and their intersection is basically the center of enlargement, right? Did you understand this?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay, very good. Now I'll talk about another example quickly and then things would make more sense. And then let's see if we are clear with the idea or not, okay? Again, I am going to make two triangles. This is the base. This is the height. Okay, and then the other one is here. Okay, these are the two triangles. This point is P, Q, and R. This point is P dash, Q dash, and R dash. Okay, so we have both the object and the image. And again, the thing under discussion is center of enlargement, okay? So I am going to follow the same steps again. I need to pick up 4 points in total to make the line. So first I'll pick up R and R dash, and then I can just choose, let's say Q and Q dash. I'll make two lines. So this is going to be the first line that I made using R and R dash. And then the second line is this one that I made using Q and Q dash. And now the center of enlargement is the point of intersection. So this is the center of enlargement. Yes. Any doubts about this? Please feel free to ask me. This is your right, okay? Just ask me if you have any questions, because this way you would be doing injustice to yourselves, okay? Any doubts, any questions, just stop me and ask me. I would not mind, okay? Yes.
No, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay, very good. Rania, Turhan, and Yusra, is this okay? Okay, Rania.
Ma'am, it's clear.
Okay. All right, very good. Acha. So this was about finding the center of enlargement. Right. Now that is good. Next thing is how to construct the image in case of enlargement. Now again, just like yesterday, I'll be making tables and then things would become very, very easy. I did not discuss what exactly scale factor is. Scale factor is just a number. That is it. You'll understand the idea about it after the construction and while making this table, okay? So I'll make the table first and then I'll explain this. Please pay attention and stay focused. Okay. Now we have to understand two things. Okay. So we are talking about enlargement. We are going to follow the first column if the center is 0, 0, and we are going to follow the second one if the center is not 0, 0. Okay, so you would see some similarities here, just like we did in rotation, right? If the center is 0, 0, you would have three object coordinates, whatever the coordinate, whatever the shape is, you know how to find the coordinates of the endpoints. Okay, you are going to do this, multiply all points with the scale factor and get your image directly. Okay, so in this case, you are going to multiply all the points with the scale factor, and that is it. You would get your image directly. Okay, but in this case, when center is not 0, 0, you need to do 3 steps. Number 1, subtract center. Number 2, multiply by the scale factor, that is k, multiply by k, and then the last one is add center. Okay, you are going to understand this easily. I will make a smaller table just so I can just, share the question underneath. Okay, all right. Now please pay attention, all of you. We have two scenarios. Either the center is 0, 0, or the center is not 0, 0. Let's see how things vary from question to question. Okay, I am going to write down the question and let's see what happens in that case. So I'll write down the question here. Okay, now this is example number 1 about the construction of enlargement. We have a triangle ABC that maps onto the triangle PQR. Please pay attention. After an enlargement with center 0, 0 and scale factor of 2. Okay, so you need to draw PQR. Okay, I am going to make the drawing here. This is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so I'll make the triangle quickly. So let's say the base is 1 unit. The height is 2 units. Yeah, okay. This is the triangle ABC. So it is A, B, and C. And you need to find the triangle PQR. The center is 0, 0, and the scale factor is 2. Now, just like all the types, please pay attention. We need to follow these steps, okay? And here are the steps. So I need to choose if I need to follow this column or this column. My center is 0, 0, so I would be following the first column. So for now, I'll just ignore this and I will start from here. Multiply all the points with the scale factor and get your image directly. Let me just write down all the points. So the first point is 1, 1. The second one is 2, 1. And then C is 2, 3. Okay. And now with a different color, I'll write down the coordinates of A dash, B dash, and C dash. So can anyone help me with writing down A dash? Yes. 2, 2. Very good, Rania. Excellent. 2, 2. And then 4, 2. And then 4, 6. Very well done. Why? Because we need to multiply the points with the scale factor, that is 2. Okay. So 1, 1 when multiplied with 2 would give me 2, 2. 2, 1 when multiplied with 2 would give me 4, 2. And 2, 3 when multiplied with 2 would give me 4, 6. Now I'm going to plot these points. So 2, 2 is here. Then 4, 2 is here. And then 4, 6 is here. I am going to connect these 3 lines to find the triangle PQR. Okay, so this is P, Q, and R, right? So anything that you have not understood, please be honest and tell me. If you want me to repeat this example, I can do that certainly, but just be honest and tell me if you have understood this or not.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very good. Excellent. Okay, now this was the first example. It was easy. Let me write down the second example and then let's see how our steps are going to vary. Okay. All right, please pay attention. This is important, okay? That is why I'm telling you guys again and again to stay focused. All right, so this time the center is 2, 1 and the scale factor is of 2. Okay, I'll make the triangle first. All right, so the triangle is okay. This is A, B, and C. This is your object. Let's figure out the image. Let's read the question first. Okay, now please pay attention. Triangle ABC maps onto PQR after an enlargement. This is your first keyword. The second one is center with 2, 1 and scale factor 2. Okay. So in these questions, whenever you've been asked to plot something, you need to see what type it is, and then we'll refer to the steps we'll be following. So this is enlargement. We have enlargement only on this page. Then the center is 2, 1. That means we are going to do what? We are going to follow the first column or the second one? Yes, Yes, please answer me.
The second.
The second one. Okay, very good. So we are going to follow the second one because the center is not 0, 0. What is the center? The center is 2, 1. Okay. So, Turhan, what is going to be the step 1? Step 1 would be?
We subtract the center.
Excellent. Very well done. We subtract the center. Very good, Rania. Excellent. Okay. So, let's just do that quickly. Okay. So, I'll do that here. The 3 points are 3, 1, 6, 1, and then 6, 3. These are the 3 coordinates which I have. First, I am going to subtract the center. So for subtracting the center, I'll subtract 2, 1. So the first would be what? Yes, Saneem? 3, 1 would become what?
1, 0.
Very good. And then 6, 1 would become, yes, anyone can tell me, please try participating. This would become 4, 0. And then the last one would be 4, 2.
4, 2.
Very good. Okay. Now you need to multiply this by the scale factor. That is 2. So we will multiply this with the scale factor and I'll write that down here. So it would become 2, 0, then 8, 0, and then 8, 4. And then the final one is going to be adding the center again. So now when we are going to add the center, this would be 4, 1. This would be 10, 1. And the last one would be 10, 5. Let's just write down these coordinates. So 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. 4, 1. Okay. So this is 4, 1. Then we have 10, 1. So this would be 10, 1. And then we have 10, 5. So this is going to be 10, 5. And now I'm going to connect these red lines to get PQR. And yes, that is it. This point is P, this point is Q, and this point is R. And this is my image. Yes. Any doubts with this? Anything that you have not understood? Please be honest and tell me. All of you, all of you. Okay, all clear. Very good. All right, excellent, everyone. Okay. Now the next thing is, we discussed in the beginning how to find the center. Now we know how to construct this. And then the last thing is how to find the scale factor. So I am going to erase this. And let's see how to find the scale factor. Okay. The next thing which we need to discuss is the scale factor. Now for the scale factor, we have 3 formulas and you need to learn all 3 of them. It depends on your question and the amount of data the examiner gives you. Okay. So you might need any, you would not be able to use all these, but you need to learn all these. Okay. You'll see why I'm telling you to learn all these. Okay. So the first one is take the image length and divide that by the object length. Just relax. Let me just write this down and then I'll explain this, okay? This is the first formula. Second one is image to center distance. Okay. Now this is the second one. And then the last one is k square okay. Now this is the last thing for today. So please stay focused. You'll be free in 10 minutes, just focus, okay? Now, let me make a drawing and then things would get clear. This is the y-axis, this one is the x-axis. This is y, this is x. Let me just make two triangles and then things would be very, very clear. Okay. So let's say this is the center. C. I'll make the first triangle. This is P, Q, and R. Let me make the image. Okay, right. This is the object and this is the image, and please stay focused, okay? Now, we are discussing how to find the scale factor. Now, if the examiner wants you to find the scale factor or the center of enlargement, the examiner would give you the object and the image. For center, I told you you need to make two lines and you will figure out the line of the point of intersection, and that would be the center of enlargement, okay? For scale factor, we have three choices. We can use any of these. Let's just use the first one. Okay. Image length divided by the object length. Now you can pick up any side of the triangle. Let's say I pick up the base. Let's say I am going to use this one. Okay. So the length is 1 unit of the object. Okay. So the length of the object is 1 unit. And if I talk about the image, the same length in this case is 3 units. So this is 3 units. This means that the scale factor is 3, right? Let's try doing the same thing using the second formula. Image to center distance. All right. So let's say I pick up P. So from center to P, I have 1 unit. And then from center to P dash, I have 3 units. Again, it is going to be 3 over 1, and that would give me 3. And if I talk about the area of the triangle, so the area of the image is going to be what? 1 by 2, base is 3, and height is, what is the height? Yes, height is what? So this is 1, this point is 1, and then if this length is 2, so this should be, yeah, this point should have been 7. This, just let me just rewrite this thing. This is 6 and then this is 7. Okay, so the height is 6 basically, and the area is going to be 1 times and 2 times. The area of the image is 6 and the area of the object would be 1 by 2 base into height. So this should be 2 basically. So one by 2, the base is 1 unit and the height is 2 units. Okay, so this area is 1 and this area would be 1 by 2, base is 3 and the height is 6. So this should be 1 and 3. This is 9. Okay, now look at this. The image area is 9 and the object area is 1. So k square is 9. Okay, this is k square. If k square is 9, the scale factor is going to be 3. Okay, now it could be positive 3, it could be negative 3. I'll come to that. I'll discuss this in the next class about the signs, but for now I just want all of you to understand this last thing. This is the discussion about finding the scale factor. We have 3 methods. Either you can pick up any side, or you can find the distance of 2 corresponding points from C. So the distance from C to P and C to P dash, or the last thing is to find the area of the image and divide that by the area of the object, and that would give you k squared. Okay, so you have these 3 formulas. Using any one of these, you can find the scale factor. So anything that you have not understood in this class, please tell me honestly. All of you.
No, ma'am, I got everything.
Okay, very good. Okay, so I assume that there are no questions, right? So I'll stop sharing this. Now I won't, I'll stop the recording.